Bellator 279, guys, we have the featherweight title on the line between Cris Cyborg and Arlene Blencowe. Second time they're meeting. Will it be any different? We'll find out. But before we get into it, guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Alright guys, so the first time these guys fought, run it quickly back, opened up and Arlene looked like she was ready to trade in the pocket with Cyborg, which is a very risky game to play. Cyborg had it, she made Arlene take a step back, pushed her to the fence. First round was, all grappling. She took her down very easily, held her down, got to mount, destroyed her in mount, landed some good ground and pound, busted her open. Second round starts, rinse and repeat. Caught her early on the feet, pushed her against the cage and unloaded, shattered her nose a little bit, got it all bloodied up. It's a tricky one here because Arlene, since then, has won 2 fights. Beaten Pam Bam and is not the same level as Cris Cyborg. The opportunity to face Cyborg again here is not due to skill, in my opinion, but due to the amount of competition. As harsh as that might sound, that's the truth of it. Bellator's women's division isn't that deep. A lot of divisions other than the UFC, Invicta has a deep women's division, obviously, for obvious reasons anyway. But the featherweight division in the UFC is like 4 or 5 ladies. I'm not even sure it's that many now since Felicia Spencer's out as well. So it's a real tight blunder here because Arlene's got a lot of potential. She could definitely cause some upsets. She has power. She uses it in the pocket. She likes to stand and trade. Her grappling is very weak. It's a very weak part of her game. And we saw Cyborg get her first ever submission win, which is nuts to think of that. Her crazy record. It's her first ever submission win was against Arlene Blencowe in that second round. Rear naked choke. Cyborg's going to beat her up on the feet again, push her against the cage and do exactly the same thing. Blencowe does not look much improved to be able to beat someone like Cris Cyborg. So age here, may be a factor, might not be a factor, but 39 years old, you're definitely pushing it on now. And to take a shot from Cris Cyborg at that age, once you've already taken a few shots with that style of fighting, is very risky. There's a lot of good things that could happen here for Arlene if she manages to stand her ground, keep the center of the circle in Bellator. You got to keep the center against Cris. Don't let her bully you. Don't let her push you against the cage. If you let her push you against the cage, she's going to use those pinpoint, vicious, relentless pressure strikes where she generates so much power for the weight class. She is an absolute finisher. She's a killer. She is a great white shark of this division. She smells blood. She kills you. She's done it her whole career. If you look back at her whole career, look how many decisions she's got. Very, very few. And the ones she does have are super tough ladies where they weren't really in it. They were just getting beaten up for the 3 or 5 rounds. She knows how to finish. All her fights in Bellator so far, killer. Since she lost to Amanda Nunes, she's been on an absolute roll again. She's got 1 blemish in the last decade in MMA. The girl is an absolute freak, and she's not really slowing down. She's got the clinical striking here to beat Arlene. Arlene's in trouble if it goes to the ground, and I think that's a smart plan for Cyborg. Why risk getting touched on the feet? Because Arlene can crack. Don't get me wrong, Arlene could hurt Cyborg, but the odds of it are extremely low, and I think that's a very bad place to put your wager on something that has such an incredibly low chance. I think Arlene's got a chance here, guys, but I'm going with Cyborg. I think Arlene needs to keep the center. If Cyborg does step into range, I think she needs to really work on that pocket fighting. I think she really needs to throw overhand hooks, sit down on her shots more. Don't be afraid to trade with Cyborg. Cyborg's one-shot knockout power doesn't exist anymore, to be honest. It's more volume strikes, and it's when she backs you up. When you cannot pose an offense to her, then she unloads everything. If you stand in the center with her hands drop. You can catch Cyborg and you can back her up. You saw Amanda Nunes do it. Cyborg tried to pressure Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes weren't having any of it. What happened? Backed up. Different kettle of fish here. Not comparing Amanda Nunes to bloody Arlene right here. I think Cyborg's going to do what Cyborg does. I don't think Arlene's going to be able to keep that center. I think that's the way to win for her because the grappling, don't even start. I don't think she's got the cardio to go 5 rounds hard against Cyborg and win. It's an uphill battle, and she's going to be a monstrous underdog here. I've got Cyborg. I think Cyborg's going to finish her again. I think it's going to be a TKO on the feet. I think a ref will do a nice job in stepping in, but I think this will be the first time Arlene will be TKO'd or KO'd. Let me know who you've got, guys. Do you love Cris Cyborg? Do you love Arlene? Who do you want to win this fight, and who do you actually think is going to win? Do you think there's a chance Arlene can beat Cyborg? She's going to be a monstrous underdog, and I'd love to hear your opinion if you do think she can turn it over, or do you just think it's a whitewash for Cyborg here? Are we going to see an upset or not, guys? Let us know in the comments below. Like the video if you have enjoyed it, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the fights, guys. Cheers.